bringing the people behind our food to life.
Big news for us this year is the fact that we've set a record both in our daily passage of fall Chinook of 68,000, but also in the fact that we've hit 1 million total Chinook for the year. So that combines spring, summer, and fall. That hasn't been done before here since we've started counting fish. So that's a huge step for us. And the fish you see behind me are a result of that success, which keeps our fish counters very busy and keeps the fish biologists very happy, and fishermen, obviously. Bonneville Dam is the most downstream dam in the federal Columbia River power system. Our primary purpose here is multi-fold, really. Initially was to produce power. Built in the late 30s, the original powerhouse in the spillway came online in 1938, dedicated by FDR. And then as time has gone along, power increases and needs increase, so we actually dug out the channel for Powerhouse 2. Like Powerhouse 1, fish passage was part of the original construction, and now we really just are in the balance of those multi-purpose objectives, so balancing power, navigation, flood control, and fish passage. The life cycle of a salmon is ultimately, they have their natal streams where these fish spawn. They emerge and migrate out to the ocean at different sizes. Some will be sub-yearlings, which are quite small. Others will be yearlings, which just means they've stayed in their natal stream a little bit longer. They go to the ocean and spend multiple years, 3 to 5, I would say, and then they return. And they go directly back to that natal stream where they were hatched and complete the process by spawning again, where they then die. It's a really fascinating system, and the dams obviously fit in there in different ways. The challenges for fish passage at the individual dams differs a bit from dam to dam, but in general they're pretty similar. Like I said, adults coming up have fairly, I don't want to say simple, but it's pretty straightforward. We provide them flow, and they key on flow, and they volitionally pass the dam. With the exception of a little bit of delay as they look to find those entrances. Juveniles, on the other hand, because of the nature of how they travel, we always have to move them around the dam, move them through structures, de-water structures. There's a little more challenge with juveniles. But even with that, overall dam survival for juveniles here is about 97%. The fish ladders here work pretty simply. It's a series of weirs that water flows over. Fish can either jump over those weirs, which you see, and it's kind of the iconic image that people have, or they can go through underwater orifices and you can never see them. Those structures have not changed much at all from the 1938 construction of Powerhouse 1 to the 1982 construction of Powerhouse 2. So they pretty much got it right the first time for adult ladders, and our job is really just to maintain the flow in there. If it differs by 1/10 of a foot, we make adjustments. Most of it's automated, some of it's not. We do fish rounds and inspect all those facilities on a daily basis, multiple times per day. It's a regional collaboration for sure. We, being the Corps of Engineers, partner with other federal agencies, the states, the tribes. The groups that I go to meet at least monthly and have what we call a fish passage plan, which is kind of a subset of the biological opinion, and it basically dictates how each dam will run their facilities for maximizing fish passage. We've started to have more and more of these record years, so we're having less of the crashes and more of a kind of a slow increase towards, I would say, recovery, really. That means different things to different people. For some people that's strictly a numbers thing, for some it's wild versus hatchery. But for us, as we see these fish come back in greater numbers with greater proportions of wild fish, that's a success story for us. And you know, we're just kind of starting to see that. We set a record with sockeye passage last year. We're setting a record with fall Chinook passage this year, and we're hoping that this is the first of many, and we'll do what we can to keep making it happen. But like I said, there's a whole suite of things, and we're just a small piece of it. But you know, we're working on it for sure.